Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Tyr,
Yo.
Sora,
Hello.
and Adam. I'm
Oh,
not sure why he decided the butt trumpet was the appropriate greeting, but as it is once again a Friday,
Butt
I'm the
Friday.
keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are all of you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Very good.
That's good to hear. Any of you guys do anything special?
Oh,
Or
Well,
I
it's
said,
it's a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tier.
I was about to say, no, not really. But go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
Oh well, we are about to enter a new atmospheric river, so that's gonna be fun for us. It's been pouring all day. It'll be a very soggy weekend. I'm supposed to go to an apple festival on Sunday, so that's gonna be fun.
Hold on, I gotta ask: is this an Apple festival in terms of like Apple, the fruit, or Apple
Yes.
products? Okay.
Apple
I
the
thought.
fruit. It's they'll have like they have a huge tent, like the big marquee kind of tent, and
Mhm.
you get to sample all sorts of really different like the apple breeds, like heritage breeds, cross breeds, all these sort of types of apples that you don't find in store. Some they'll have to buy. So if you're lucky and there's still some apples left, you can purchase some things. Not every single uh, producer will have enough to sell, so they're just you buy a ticket, so you actually are paying for the tasting, and then everything else be JB is talking about hard cider. They will have cider because people will be bringing that too. Freshly made, probably not hard. I'm not sure because it's more family. I don't know if they're allowed actually. They're licensed to sell alcohol, but they'll have apple cider, like the delicious fall cider. Um,
hey, hard
yeah,
cider is also
Yeah.
delicious.
I mean,
it
I wouldn't
is.
be
It
surprised if
is,
they
but
had
like
some
you
booths.
know,
That
they
sounds
might. They
awesome.
might. I don't know. I haven't been since COVID, like the lockdown. I have not been in the last few years, so I have no idea how it's changed.
Well, COVID
Previously,
cider is
they
nothing.
definitely didn't have it. So
Fair enough. And
I'm.
also, part of me
I'm.
was really hoping that you were going to be particularly snarky and go, nope, it's the local Brazilian festival. It's apple bottom jeans.
Apple bottom jeans with the. Sorry.
Boots with the fur,
Exactly.
She hit the flow.
all covered, looking at me. Yeah,
Wow. Um.
good
Well,
times.
that
That's the call of the millennial club goer.
sounds
You start
delicious.
playing that, and we all rush to the floor.
Oh, jeez.
Oh Lord.
Especially once it gets to the shorty got low, low, low.
Oh yeah, you have to do
Yeah.
it. Hmm.
Well, hold on. I mean, the boots with the fur,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
boots with the fur.
is that going to
Hmm.
come back?
I think it
Are
already
boots
has.
making a comeback? I
I
think
don't.
so.
I don't know.
Kinda,
Maybe, possibly.
kinda. Yeah, they have definitely have the new styles out there.
I think I've seen people with Ugg boots.
Ugh.
Furry boots?
Yeah, Ugg boots.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
That's the name of the type
Uh,
of boot.
JB. So Florida is singing that song, right? JB. I went to see him in concert this summer. It was the best thing. It was like all sort of like late high school, early college era music. It was good times, good vibes.
Nice.
He's
Oh
he's
Lord.
fantastic live. It's like there's a really certain funny thing about Florida, at least here. There's a definite certain very white demographic that is his fan. It was really fun.
Oh man.
It,
Yeah, he did always kind of get the white college girl going, didn't he?
I mean,
well,
it's
you
thought
know what?
music. Of
That's
course it
smart
is.
marketing, man. they drop a lot of money. Get them white girl wasted, and they're buying all your records.
White girl wasted. Wow.
Yeah.
White girl wasted is a fucking thing.
Ah, jeez.
No one's as drunk as white girl wasted.
Shake your tail feather. That one, JB.
Yep,
'Cause-
that's-
Nah. Not that.
Shake a tail feather like from Blues
From
Brothers?
Bad Boys. No,
Oh,
from
okay.
Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2.
It's getting hot in here, so take off. Yeah, that song.
That one too, yep. Yeah,
I
there's a lot.
wish I saw Nelly. I regret I regret missing the Nelly concert. I didn't have anyone to go with, and this was a few years back, and I was self-conscious. I should have just gone. I think it would have been a lot of fun.
I hate large crowds of people, so I will never go to a concert.
That's very fair.
What do you
I
mean
understand.
those kinds of people?
Yeah.
What do you see? I said I hate large crowds.
You said
Yeah.
that you hate large crowds, and it sounded like you said, and those kinds of people.
Yeah, you mean like the sweaty, unwashed mass? Oh.
No, I hate the darkies.
Oh.
Okay, Uncle Ruckus.
White woman sure got a good heart. She done took you out the jungle, taught you how to read, and that's how you repay her. Mm-mm.
But I just
Yep.
realized that
I like Uncle Ruckus.
What did you
I
realize,
never
sorry?
did the. I'm doing rather grand today. I'm just finishing up prepping my dinner for the night.
Oh shit, dude! Hey, what's for dinner?
Tonight is,
Good.
did you? Okay, tonight's dinner is a shrimp and sautéed, or rather more stir-fried veg in a garlic sauce with some pickled mustard greens. I'm about to spoon out the cucumber salad that I made. Some charred shishito peppers, a thing of pot stickers, and then my drinks are going to be furu, which is a Nagori Junmai Ginjo sake. I have an Asahi, so I'll have an Asahi, and then I'm probably going to go for this one, which is Kayo whiskey.
All right, so I've decided, Sanguine, I'm going to try to use the front door. Just leave my plate where I can reach it. I'll leave the money on the table. I'll leave out the back door though. Leave it open. I'll lock up.
Fair enough.
He's a
I think
gentleman.
that's how I do it nowadays.
Comes in the
It's
front,
the front,
exits in
leaves
the
in the back. Leaves in the back. Yeah.
And yes, I have had mustard green kimchi, Sor, and that's kind of what this spicy pickled mustard greens are.
Fucking Nurgle.
Yummy. I got some in my local Korean market a while back, and I ate it really quickly. Like in a few days, it was gone. It was just so good.
Oh yeah, they're
'Cause you can't really
delicious.
find mustard greens fresh here unless you go to the farmers markets, and not always. And I really like them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I was
mustard
like,
greens are
ooh.
delicious.
Well, and
I
if they're
prefer kale.
delicious fresh, right? Can you imagine how delicious they would be with the kimchi mixture, right? Like the seasoning and a bit just a bit fuzzy on the tongue from the fermentation. Very good.
Mhm. Like I said, that's
Very,
functionally
very
what
tasty.
the pickled mustard greens that I'm having is. Only I'm not doing the full kimchi pickling for them.
Mhm.
Instead, what I did was I did the quick pickle for them.
Mhm.
So it's rice wine vinegar. I threw in some. Why am I blanking on what it is?
Rock
is-
salt?
Oh, I threw in plenty of rock salt, but it is koji. I threw in some koji, which is fermented rice.
Okay.
That way it added that kind of funky pickle taste a little bit quicker. rather than having to do the full pickling. So I added in salt, vinegar, Korean chili flake, a handful of other spices, some chili oil, little bit of sesame oil. After steaming the mustard greens so that they kind of wilted down nicely, mix that all through, then packed it up and let it sit for a few days. And it is absolutely delicious. Gives you that nice funky taste. A lot quicker than doing the full kimchi ferment.
Nurgle is best Chaos God. Yes. Grandpapa Nurgle is best Chaos God.
So, what are we talking about in terms of dessert?
Oh, if I was doing a dessert, I have whiskey marinated berries that have just
Can't have
absolutely
Who would want to have
bloomed
whiskey
beautifully.
doused berries?
And then I have some heavy cream, so dessert would be a whipped malted cream with those lovely whiskey berries. All plated up in a bowl, nice and pretty.
That sounds nasty. I can't stand most berries. Fucking Nurglings.
Perhaps some
Berries are nice.
ruby chocolate on top.
Ooh.
Yuck. Now you're trying to kill me.
You don't like chocolate?
Chocolate makes me sick.
You were just born wrong, weren't you?
Fucking yeah. I'm a black man that can pronounce the word ask. Yeah.
Well, at least 90% of it.
Ask.
Yeah, you hit that K like you really want it to be an X.
I do. That's that black in me, but I can resist it. You know,
So I had to step away, and I come back to that's the black in me.
Yep.
It is.
Excellent.
I don't like rap music. I prefer classical. And chocolate makes me sick, and watermelon is disgusting.
Oh no! Why no chocolate? Are you like allergic to it?
No, it runs through my system rather quickly, and it makes me gives me diarrhea.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Wait, is that all
stay away
chocolate
from the
or
chocolate.
Most chocolate.
all chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate? Because if
It's
it's milk
most chocolate
chocolate, it's
and-
probably the lactose.
It's not
Yeah.
lactose, so I can take milk pretty well, and it's most chocolate. It also most chocolate makes me break out, so I'll grab.
Maybe it's like the oils, like the soy lecithin.
It could be.
Like I said, just sounds like you were born wrong.
Like the story of Morton.
I'm sorry. It gives you.
I mean,
trouble.
every so often, if I'm really craving chocolate, I will brave the
The porcelain throne.
yes, I will prepare in advance for this undertaking,
For
and
the
I will
onslaught on your digestive tract.
yes. I'll make sure I get plenty of toilet paper, and I'll make sure I bring it up from the downstairs closet. Yeah, so I will brave it. Watermelon is disgusting. I don't like purple drink.
Watermelon is disgusting. Actually,
I don't stutter.
well, yeah, no, you do stutter sometimes. But
No.
but
Yeah, I
in
do.
terms of watermelon, like
I can understand if the thing is getting good watermelon is hard.
no, next thing he's gonna say
least
is
here. They know- I
pineapple
haven't had
does not
a good
belong on a pizza.
Watermelon is very
Get the
low.
fuck out of here.
Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, but I will eat pineapple
What?
on pizza. I just won't order it.
Do it.
Good day, sir.
Oh, why are we getting Canadians now, Adam?
Wait a minute! I
It's hard
said
to find
pineapple.
good watermelon.
I just said pineapple on pizza isn't something I'll order. Like if someone orders it, I'm not gonna go. Okay, I won't eat the pizza. I'll eat it. You know, it just if I had a preference, I'm getting a meat lovers.
How much of that is normal, not picky when it comes to food, and how much of that is hungry fat man syndrome?
Normal not picky with food.
Okay.
Hungry fat man syndrome would be me eating mushrooms on pizza. I can't stand mushrooms.
Hold on. What is what
Now the fungus does make me sick.
hold on.
Every time I eat it, I throw up.
Wait, you don't know hungry fat man syndrome?
Yeah, what is this?
You're hungry, you're a fat man.
If you're a hungry fat man and someone goes, would you like to try? Doesn't matter what the following bit of that is, the answer is functionally yes.
Because you're hungry.
Oh.
And like I said, hungry fat man syndrome is me eating something with mushrooms on it because mushrooms actually legitimately make me throw up.
Oh, no. Don't do
I
that.
tried to eat. I tried to eat a patty melt one day with mushrooms on it because my friend told me, "Hey, this patty melt's amazing, man. You gotta try it." And I did, and 20 minutes later, it was coming back up.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Sorry.
Wait, what's a patty melt?
Tyr, why are you so weak?
You don't know what a patty melt is?
Hold on.
A patty melt is a hamburger that has the cheese melted on it, typically served on bread.
Yeah, but is it one of those like squished patty type things?
No, it's
to be kind of like a smash burger between a smash burger grilled cheese, effectively.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have
with
to be
mushrooms on
burger
it.
Grilled cheese.
It's typically with mushrooms.
I don't know. See,
a good chunk of them are with mushrooms.
Oh man. I can't even eat that shit though. Like I'd probably get like a quarter way or halfway through and be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But with mushrooms, that does sound tasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, it sounds disgusting.
Might even
Yeah,
have
no,
some
mushrooms
onions
are
on there.
fucking delicious. No,
I love onions. Onions are amazing.
No, you know what, Sora? You invoke onions. We are no longer friends. I'm sorry.
See, he says this, but he ate several meals without complaining.
Get out of here. Shut up.
With onion at the camping trip.
That is a lie.
Onions are amazing.
Did you do like what a mother does, Sanguine? Did you just blend up the onions and everything so it hides the vegetables?
I did not blend them. I just cooked them normally.
Wait, hold on. No, that's not. No, it's not. Okay, I've never had a problem with like, oh, it's cooked in a stew with it, you know. And no, I've always had a problem with actual chopped onion. I've never had it. And Sanguine, no, you've never given me an onion.
I haven't given you a onion by itself like that. No.
Yeah. Sorry, don't looking like a mom. Get out of here.
I did give you the beef curry, which had onion in it.
It did, and I fucking shut them out into the fucking fire pit.
I gave you the chili, which you said specifically you didn't do that with. And it had onion in it.
No, I'm pretty sure I did.
You said you didn't.
Well, I didn't want to upset you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I would love to have beef curry. I like curry. Curry's pretty good.
Curry is delicious.
It is. You know what? One of these days, I'm going to go to this Indian place that has chicken vindaloo. I'm going to order chicken vindaloo. I've never had it.
Vindaloo's delicious. Curry's delicious. Rogan Joshed. I love Rogan Joshed, especially lamb Rogan Joshed.
I'm not a big fan of lamb.
Is it
I want to
because
try duck.
You've only had bad lamb, or
lamb is pretty good?
Because lamb is delicious, but a lot of people cook lamb wrong.
I can't remember how I had lamb per se, but I wasn't a fan of it when I did have it.
Also, it annoys me that in the U.S. we have fewer categories of sheep. We just kind of merged them
Motherfucker.
all together.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Give me
Fucking
a
hell!
Boop, boop, boop.
Because I'd really enjoy if we had milksop lamb, young lamb, spring lamb, and then all the way up to hogget, and
Hogget?
then mutton. Yeah, hogget is when a lamb is
No, I said
outside.
hobbit.
Oh, not hobbit, hogget. It's a lamb that has aged out of being a baby sheep and is now kind of like a adolescent sheep. It's that year-old sheep.
Hey.
Okay.
Between like a year and 2 years
in
old
the
is
back.
hogget. And hogget is delicious. And then after that you have mutton. And mutton's tasty, but mutton gets a little bit tougher, a little bit gamier.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
I
there's
don't
goat.
know. I think you
Try
need
goat.
some goat.
Yeah.
Goat's delicious.
If you have a plate, I don't actually know. I guess it's Nepalese. It's a type of dumpling called a momo.
Oh,
If you,
those are. I want to say they were originally Mongolian. Let me double check.
Mongolian maybe. In that kind of area. Anyway, it's like Indo-Chinese restaurants around here tend to serve them. So I'm not quite sure what actual background they're coming from, but if you ever find a place near you guys that have momo and they have goat momos, they are delicious. But it is definitely more on the lamb side of taste in terms of like the kind of gamier, for lack
Yep.
of it. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say it. Kind of.
And I just double checked, and you were right. It is Tibetan and Nepalese.
There you go. Like I said, it's a kind of Indo-Chinese here. It's restaurants. They don't really have like a specific Nepalese place, but they're very tasty. Obviously they also do chicken and they have veggie ones and all that sort of stuff. But
hold on.
it's
What was it Momo?
momo, like MOMO.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's meat in the dumpling wrapper, and you can either have it steamed or fried. I always like them steamed.
Okay.
But
Yeah, they tend to
like
be
you can't do
the
wrong, right?
outside
Well, no,
tends to be a little
right
bit thicker
restaurant.
than dumpling, but a lot thicker than baozi. So it's
Fucking bows
like
it.
baozi is the steamed bun.
Ah.
So you have dumpling wrappers, which are very thin, where you can kind of see the meat through the dumpling wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
Baozi, it's this nice, lovely steamed bread with filling, typically.
It sounds
So-
tasty.
Oh, they are
Apparently so.
delicious. I do a fusion of baozi and Juicy Lucy's
And that is?
cheese stuffed hamburgers.
Ah.
So I do a cheese stuffed hamburger with bacon, and then I wrap it in mantou.
Oh,
the
a bomb.
For
Okay.
bao.
No, so you telling me the cheese stuffed hamburger. I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, oh, you're talking about a bomb.
Oh, you call them bombs down there?
Well, up here. Remember, I'm in Maryland.
Which is still down there for me.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, man.
I forget you Northerners. Southerners call them bombs.
Yeah, the name for the burger in the Midwest and most of the North, from my experience, is Juicy Lucy.
Juice Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and they do that with hot dogs too. I don't like that shit though. Fuck that.
You mean the cheese stuffed dogs?
Yep.
But yeah, the dough for a momo is slightly thicker than like a normal Jalza wrapping, normal
Mhm.
dumpling wrapping, but it's thinner than Balza because Balza is light and fluffy and it's bread. It is a steamed bread. So the Momo wrapper tends to have a little bit more bite than Jalza, but not a lot. It doesn't like eating bread.
Ah.
It's more like a thick noodle. But yeah, momos are delicious. Goat's delicious. Lamb's delicious. Hogget's delicious.
I've never had
Mutton's
goat.
delicious.
Hobbits are delicious.
Hobbit is delicious. I hope some people aren't around to hear you say that.
That's the name of my new punk band.
Hobbits are delicious.
Yeah.
Hobbits are
Second-
delicious.
Second Breakfast is the first album cover.
Remember, Tyr, there's more than one way to eat a hobbit.
As a dwarf, you know, I would assume you would know, but see, you gotta remember, I'm a lich. We don't eat. All that eating stuff, that's not something we do. You know.
So he
We're
missed
deep in
that.
study.
Luna, did you catch up that joke?
I did.
What?
I'm trying to.
There's more than one way to eat a hobbit?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. You talk about eating pussy. I got it.
Okay. Making sure because it sounded like you were going right back into different recipes.
No, pussy jokes do not escape me.
Making sure that you at least got the jokes if you didn't get it.
Oh no, pussy jokes don't escape.
I could
But-
trigger Tier with Rappler, LOL. What Rappler could you trigger me with?
Dude, I'm missing box. Wait.
Also, I do have to ask once Sora comes back, which volume of the fantasy collection is more than one way to eat a hobbit?
Which volume of a fantasy collection?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's going to be one of her movies.
It's it's one of those. If you're gonna spend the extra Skrilla. Wow. Yeah, I lost the box. Okay.
God damn, I fucking hate Nurgle. But
Okay.
what?
So apparently the lyric is so much grams and zip the bag, dip in my hand, and then I palm trees. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me.
I don't see why that would trigger me.
Nor do I. But I have a feeling the completely amelodic read that I did of that might trigger him.
Yeah, probably.
As I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of rap. Rap isn't my thing. Like only stuff I know about rap is through the old school shit that I used to listen to when I was younger because that's what we listened to when I was younger, and osmosis. Not through actually listening.
Please tell me the rap that you knew when you were younger was the classics like Biz.
Yeah, like Biz Markie or like Bone Thug and Harmony and Rough Riders and shit like that.
Dude, how do you go from Biz Markie to Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Because I like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, they technically were rappers.
Mm.
All right, 3 out of the 4 in that group were rappers.
No, I mean, hey, I liked them both as well. I mean,
Back in the day of the clown princes of rap.
Huh, ICP, really?
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Biz. Early on was referred to as a clown prince because his songs weren't serious for the most part. They were him taking
Shit.
the piss out of himself and others.
I like old school rap because I like storytelling and people were telling you stories when they rap.
Mm-hmm.
Modern rap is just, oh, I did this and I did that. Motherfucker, you ain't did half the shit you said you did.
And again, they were funny stories a good chunk of the time.
Yeah.
You say he's
That-
just a friend. It's sad, it's funny, it's a good song.
You got what I need. Had the line "Do baby."
Mm-hmm.
I love this song.
Mhm.
Oh,
So-
What
no.
about Informer? Does that count?
Oh no! Don't no. Informer does not count because
What?
you've
Racist.
never. What? Wait. Okay.
I have no clue what
Informer.
any of you are.
You've never heard. Okay, the song is Informer. It's for.
By Snow.
Yeah, isn't that a
No.
white guy?
Like,
It's a white guy.
Did
It's Canadian.
you? Did I not say I
Even
don't
worse.
listen to rap?
See, it doesn't count
It's not
because
rap,
he's
it's-
white. It doesn't
it's,
count
no.
because he's Canadian. There's a
No,
difference.
it's like a weird like.
Motherfucker!
Oh
Fucking
my
dog.
goodness. Yo, yeah, go look it up. Informer by what's his name?
Snow.
Snow.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
Look, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm the whitest black guy you will ever fucking meet. Like, I don't particularly listen to rap. If there's a genre of music I listen to more often than not, it is usually house music and techno because I'm fucking weird. Or classical because I like classical.
I will share in the YouTube chat.
Tier, how many anime con raves did you bump it to?
Huh?
How many
an-
anime con raves did you bump it to?
None because I fucking don't like crowds.
Because your music taste that you just named, very
Yeah.
anime music club.
It
Or anime-
really is, but I don't like crowds, so it kind of destroys that. Like you said, I was born wrong.
Like music normally played in groups, hate groups.
Yeah, pretty much. That I'm probably, like I said, I make Wayne Brady look like Malcolm X.
Wait, Brady gonna have to slap a bitch?
Again, I make Wayne Brady look like Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, get off my ass and stop shooting me. Sorry.
But
What are you
I do
playing?
have to ask Sora,
Dark Tide.
Yes.
what volume of the fantasy collection is More Than One Way to Eat a Hobbit?
Ooh. I think we're in the second collection now, actually.
Okay.
So it might be the first of the second collection. We've kind of, you can have two big collections.
Already filled out the first collection?
Can't be too greedy. Leave room for someone else.
I'm curious to know, what are you guys talking about?
Do you forget the
Just
deep
a-
lore?
Just a little movie collection. That's all. No worries.
Yes, I do forget the deep lore. My bad. Explain the deep lore to me.
I
Do you want to
apparently have
explain
a
or shall I?
prolific movie career in the adult variety.
Ah.
There's a lot of volumes.
Ah. Okay.
She's opened her own production house at this point.
Mhm.
Ah.
We service many genres.
Okay, so fantasy is one of them. I get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, anytime that you say something that you're going, that kind of sound like a porn title, you just follow it up with, so what number is that one, Sora?
Okay, so I got a question. So
Hmm.
what is when you gonna do lich porn?
When are we gonna do
I,
which?
lich porn.
No,
I think
lit
we
or
are
lit.
my kind are untapped market, and I think we should be catered to.
He's just trying to get his bone dealt with.
Well, I mean, I know we call it a bone, but that's really, a colloquialism. There's really nothing there. So I suppose we
Look,
can use
At
I'm
least
some sort of
not
hold
in
on,
human.
what?
hold on, Sora. I'm 59%. I still have 59% of my flesh, and that is part of the flesh part. So I'm good. I
Well,
think we
how
can do some things.
convenient.
Exactly. I made sure that part did not rot. Like I put it into
Well,
my phylactery.
you can submit a suggestion in the comments.
So you do realize that now the film would have to be filling the phylactery, right?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Like it can start off with some busty dwarven maiden, licking my phylactery, trying to wake me up. I'm not angry at that.
Well, it's like orgasms in the ossuary.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit too on the nose. You gotta be subtler than that.
Again, how about studying the magical tome? See, very
Maybe a bit
subtle.
too subtle. That's pretty subtle. Maybe a bit too. Oh no, that would be the good title for like some of the like Midwestern mom porn books like 50 Shades of Grey, that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I think some of them have like false covers if you get the hardback, so you can have like you can flip the cover. That can be like the innocuous cover for the DVD.
The child friendly, like, Mom, what do you read?
Yeah.
It's called Studying the Magical Tome, baby.
I like how bodice rippers are also Midwestern mom porn.
And
It
how the
pretty much
hell
is.
did you guys go straight from lich porn to children's flip book?
No, we didn't say children's flip book. God damn, Jesus Christ! Stay on point, Adam. Stay.
A lot of
We're
adults are
flipping,
doing
for
flip
hardcovers
books, so.
or for like we are flipping the dust jacket, so we're hiding what's the true contents, from innocent little eyes. That's all.
Yeah, they don't need to know that mommy likes liches.
Right. So
Well, that's why they're
Illuminati or
probably
children's
carrying
books. Congratulations.
uh,
You've snuffed yourself
JB
out.
saying
Do your
JB
hand
saying
signals and your
Midwestern moms.
symbolism.
JB
Motherfucker.
saying that Midwestern moms need love too.
They do.
And I agree. And they're also propping up the economy. I think like a good chunk of like all the money that goes into these kind of stuff is there. So if they stop, I think the economy collapses.
Listen to this
That's my
Canadian
prediction.
talk about Midwestern moms.
I mean, she's Canadian. She's as close as Midwestern mom as Midwestern's
Midwestern
gonna
moms.
get.
She's on the western side of Canada, dude. She doesn't know shit.
I mean, she's a Kanekistani. She's close
I
enough.
speak
You
with
speak
confidence.
Look, she's a
You don't know.
Kanekistani. We count her. She counts.
Don't be fooled by the accent, sir.
Hey, Sora, can I get an A?
Hey.
Hey, actually,
No, we.
hold on.
I don't want you to go fawns.
Let me-
I didn't.
really that.
let me
It had to
rephrase
be
this.
fucking fawns.
Let me rephrase this. Sora, do not be swayed by the accent on Tears.
Can I get a boot?
A boot? Out in a
Hello.
boot? Boot in a boot?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ken. It's okay. See, I love our Kanekistani friends.
I've never perfected the stereotypical Canadian accent that Della does so well. I don't know. It's I've never properly done it. I admire people who do.
See, what you need to
Or
do
the
is you
Lenny
need to
Kenny
develop one of the
accent.
niche ones rather than developing the stereotypical Canadian accent. Just go full blown Newfie.
Oh God, that's like super hard.
Yeah, do the full blown Yarnin Marnin.
Motherfucker.
Hmm.
Which I still find that hilarious that Yarnin
You have
Marnin
to
are
listen to like a lot of like kind of like the songs that they sing, probably Great Big Sea, a lot of Great Big Sea music.
Great Big Sea
Sea
is
change.
fantastic.
Kind of stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, because we don't really have. I think we have a regional accent in BC. Not really.
I still find it hilarious that Yarnin and Marnin are considered two of the shortest but most complex call and responses when it comes to greetings.
I want to see if this is true. If I say this, the year was 1778.
I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I'd ever seen.
Goddamn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We fire no guns, shed no tears.
I'm broken man on a
Halifax pier, the last, the Barons privateers.
Yeah.
There's a webcomic that does it's Jason looking for looking for a Canadian, and he goes, the year was 78, and the call it goes, I wish I was right now. Goes shit.
It's a great fucking song though.
It is. I forget the guy. I forget the guy's name that sung it, but I like a lot of his music.
Stan Rogers, isn't it?
Yeah. I like Northwest Passage a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like if you look on one of my playlists I use for work, you will find that pop up a lot.
And yes, I was correct. It is Stan Rogers. But one of my favorite of the Newfie groups is Great Big Sea. Because Great Big Sea has the mermaid.
Okay.
And the mermaid has probably the funniest ending of any sea shanty-esque song.
And with that,
let me quickly pull up the exact lyrics so I can read them word for word. So, that's not the right one. That is the old version of the mermaid. I'm looking for the Great Big Sea version of the mermaid. Great Big Sea. So, the last verse of Great Big Sea's Mermaid is about... So, the song The Mermaid is a sailor goes to sea. He is told not to fall in love with a mermaid because she'll ruin his life or lead to his death. He falls in love with a mermaid, jumps down, and lives his life with his new mermaid wife. And the last verse is, or the last version of the chorus, because the chorus changes, is, yes, her hair was green as seaweed, her skin was blue and pale, her legs, they are a work of art. I love that girl with all my heart, and I don't give a damn about the upper part, because that's how I get my tail. And it ends with, come here, little darling, show me your... Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Show me your head.
Nice. So she's a reverse mermaid.
Oh yeah, it's throughout the entire song. It's singing about the original mermaid, which the chorus starts out as, "'Cause her hair was green as seaweed, her skin was blue and pale, her face it was a work of art. I loved that girl with all my heart, and I only liked the upper part. I did not like the tail." And then at the very end, his mermaid love has swum away, and he is distraught, and then he sees her sister. And her sister is the reverse mermaid.
There's another webcomic I like. It's a normal human. He walked into like this monster, like this place with monsters, right? Monsters Anonymous, like people being monsters. Goes, they look at him like, "What are you doing?"
Monster.
No, like it's a support group for monsters, and goes like, "What are you doing here? Like you're not supposed to be here, human." No, I'm the child of a minotaur and a mermaid. I just got all the human bits, and they go, "Nice try, guy, get out." And then you see like his brother roll in. He has the mermaid tail and the minotaur. Yeah. So,
Oh,
Roger,
I know.
they
Yes,
accept you.
I know the comic. I've seen it on Twitter.
Right.
He's
So,
like,
Roger,
"Is this guy bothering you, sis?" He's like,
Yeah.
Arrow, because he has the tail. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucking
very
stupid.
good. I love that.
And The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot is a classic.
Oh yeah, I love that one too. The seed that it told 10,000 times more. The Edmund Fitzgerald keep it looming.
And that is one of the wrecks in the area that we've gone camping now 3 times, Adam.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is about the wreck of a ship named the Edmund Fitzgerald, of course. And the Edmund Fitzgerald ended up sinking in Lake Michigan. And it sank in Door County.
Yep.
Wow.
That's cool, JB.
Yeah, Door County is short for Death's Door County.
Mini.
And it's named Death's Door because it has had the most obscenely dense shipwreck history of pretty much anywhere in the fucking country.
Mm-hmm.
Ships were just constantly lost in this fucking lake.
Is it like weird riptides or?
Baby.
The problem is the way the lakes are made.
Sorry.
Over half of the Great Lakes are effectively over these massive basins of dolomite, which is limestone that then gets impregnated with magnesium.
Okay.
And it
Oh,
becomes-
ew. I hope it's consensual.
It happens over millions of years. Probably gave in at some point.
So, damn.
An unhappy marriage.
The massive basin is water and acid resistant, very dense stone. So there's actually under, I want to say it's Michigan and Erie. I could be wrong on that. There are these absolutely fucking enormous salt mines because the entire Great Lakes area, going back far enough in history, was a saltwater lake system.
Oh,
Where
neat.
they had a history of they would fill with salt water and then it would end up cutting off the flow of the salt water from the ocean. Those lakes would end up boiling away very slowly or evaporating away very slowly until it left a shit ton of salt in the bottom. And then the section that cut off the ocean would sink just low enough for the ocean to spill into the lake, and then it would rise up and cut off again.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened over the course of hundreds of millions of years. And then eventually a shit ton of coral formed. Those coral ended up dying and produced limestone, and that limestone was impregnated with the magnesium, which caused the massive dolosite. I think it's dolosite. It's either dolosite or diorite. I could be getting the stone wrong. It's one of those two.
It's dolomite.
Forming. And it's either dolosite or diorite. One of those two. But that ended up forming. So now there's a shit ton of salt mines underneath the Great Lakes that are tremendously huge. But also the Great Lakes have very shallow banks. So when they come out of the water, as Adam can attest, because he's seen me twice now just go walking out like 500 feet into the lake from the island.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just walking on the bottom of the lake. I'm 6'1". I walk out 500 feet and my head is still above the water.
That's so cool.
It was truly a sight to see.
Yep. So
Yes.
due to how shallow the shore is and how frequent these little rocky sections of the bottom of the lake are, that's the reason why there's so many lighthouses, because those lighthouses would warn people away from the shallows. But if a lighthouse wasn't seen by a ship, it would go over one of these shallows, it would rip its guts out, and then it would sink.
Damn.
So due to these shallows, and these shallows aren't just at the shore, they're also sporadically throughout the lake. If the lighthouse wasn't seen, or the lighthouse went out, or if the lighthouse was seen, but the storms, because that entire area gets hit by fairly severe storms frequently, were severe enough that would cause a ship to list over, and then the water suddenly rushes away a little bit faster than the ship is able to list back. It just rakes its gut along the rocky bottom.
Okay.
Causing it to, again, have its guts ripped out, and it sinks. So due to the shallows and how randomly the shallows are placed around the islands, it caused a ridiculous number of shipwrecks. Which is why in the area that we went to, there's like 5 lighthouses in just that small section, right, Adam?
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah, there was
Are they still all functioning?
No.
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean,
No,
there
they
were
are.
a few that were
They aren't.
functioning, but there were a couple that were,
Well, they are all still functioning, but the difference is that we've gone over to a new lighthouse system.
Yeah.
So, traditional lighthouse, you'd have people manning it constantly. You'd have people making sure that the light is lit with the properly complex, what is it called? A Frisian lens? Something like that? A Froy lens? It's something, there's a strange type of lighthouse lens that really just scatters light in a remarkable fashion. A Fresnel lens, that's what it is. So it's this ridiculously complex bit of geometry in order to cut the Fresnel lens.
Fresnelli.
And it just casts light out for insane distances. But you would have the lighthouse gets lit every day. You'd have this Fresnel lens that amplifies and directs, or not amplifies, but rather directs the light so that it is functionally amplified, but really it creates these massive dead zones in different sections in order to get this effect. And that would signal where the danger spots were. rather than using that old system, now we have electronic lighthouses.
Mm-hmm.
And those electronic lighthouses send out a ping, and they're set up so that when you're passing near one, you're passing close enough to 3 different ones that your computer is able to tell how far you are from each of the 3 that you're passing near. So it triangulates your location and lets you know you aren't ripping out your guts, or turn, you're about to rip out your fucking guts. So all of the lighthouses in that area are still functioning, but they aren't functioning because they aren't functioning as lighthouses. They're now functioning as these electronic lighthouses.
So in other words, it's a warning system via electronics.
Yeah, it sends
I prefer
out
the old school.
a signal that allows you to triangulate your location. So you have GPS, and then you have this triangulation system that's constantly pinging every ship in the area to let it know where it is.
Well, I prefer the old school. Oh, there's an old man in the lighthouse, and it's his job just to. Yeah, I prefer that system.
That's definitely more romantic and more fun, but this is more functional.
Well, it may be more functional, but still.
But yeah, there's a shit ton of lighthouses all up and down the coast in the county. Like I said, just a small area that we have gone camping now 3 times because we did peninsular camping and then we did island camping twice.
I'll go camping.
Mhm.
One of these days, I'll pretend to be an outdoorsman and go camping.
Come for the food.
You step out of the car before you get on the ferries, because I think part of it is you have to leave your car, right?
Yep.
To get out the door area, and then you're like, civilization, 1 step, do a U-turn, go right back, just leave.
Yep. God did not want me to go too far from my home. He would have made it. He wouldn't have made it so comfortable.
That's the fun part of it. Is
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the nerd in me kind of looks at it like every time I go there, it's command and conquer. I'm building my base. So I set up my headquarters, and then I set up my outpost over here, and then I set up
Setting up your gremlin granny defense system.
Yep.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Hey, you never know when she'll return. Just when you think you're safe,
She returns
back
to
into
steal the
woods.
wood of Boldyks again.
What the hell? Explain that one.
Well, the first time we saw Gremlin Granny, it was a campsite of a bunch of lesbians that set up shop next to us, and a group of the Boldyks were the ones that were sent to collect the wood. But they collected too many bundles. They got tired partway through. They set one bundle off to the side as they got the rest of the shit back to camp, and then they went back for their bundle of wood, and they couldn't find their bundle of wood, and that was the bundle of wood that Gremlin Granny stole. So Gremlin Granny stole wood from a bunch of Boldyks.
You never steal from the Boldyks.
I'm sure
The
they were
Boldyks
perturbed.
couldn't do anything against her.
No, dude. Especially if they they're prevalent in like roller derby. Holy shit! Their check-in is fucking on par.
They're going to find Gremlin Granny on the rink one of the days. I remember your face.
You're lucky we're in the forest. If we were in a smooth track, I'd have you on Gremlin Granny.
Apparently, JB is not read into the lore of Gremlin Granny, Adam.
Huh?
So, do you want to fill in JB on the lore of Gremlin Granny, or shall I?
It shall I. It shall. Wait, what? Wait. Uh, J JD doesn't know who Gremlin Granny is.
Exactly.
Cat, if you don't stop trying to molest my leg,
Wait, what?
Cat.
Sir?
A cat is currently trying to hump his leg.
No, she's trying to climb up onto my leg, and her claws are digging into my flesh.
Um. Okay,
Not that kind of show.
Sanguine. Yeah, dude.
It's not that kind of
Yeah,
show.
yeah, first off, yeah.
This is a family show.
But it is a zoo.
Nobody believes that.
Sanguine, go ahead and explain away what a Gremlin Granny.
Okay, so Gremlin Granny, as far as the lore that we've established for Gremlin Granny thus far, is a Fey-like being that lives off on Rock Island. What she does is she nibbles off the fingers and toes of particularly children and spits them out, creating flies. Those flies are her eyes and ears.
Yeah.
Once she's nibbled off enough fingers and toes that they don't have any other to spare, she instead consumes the child and turns them into raccoons.
Fucking raccoon.
These raccoons, Adam
Fucking
has
coons.
become one of their ilk by marrying into the raccoon's royal line.
Okay, but okay, hold on. That's a different. We don't have to talk about that right now. Just concentrate on the Gremlin Granny.
I see how it is.
So-
you don't
so-
want to
hold-
talk about
hold
your
on,
wife at all.
But hear about the royal lineage.
She creates.
Another.
She turns kids' fingers and toes into flies, which act as her eyes and ears around the island. Then the raccoons are the result of when a child no longer has enough fingers or toes in order to turn them into flies. She turns them into a raccoon, which have since kind of rebelled against her. But
And
Gremlin Granny is constantly on the lookout for unattended piles of wood and children. So, Gremlin Granny is not a stereotypical Fae, because Gremlin Granny isn't just of the Fae, she's more of a changeling. So while she might have some sort of vulnerability to cold iron, that isn't the main vulnerability that she has. The main vulnerability is the Mace of the Midwest Minions is her Achilles heel.
the Mace of the Midwest Minions. I'm assuming that's where you guys come in.
Yes, we were able to find the Mace of Midwest Minions, and we've been carving it ever since.
Yeah, but you forgot it the last time.
Yes, I forgot it the last time, so we were plagued by raccoons and flies. This is all known history. So,
Okay.
Gremlin Granny will look out for, again, unattended piles of wood or children. And if she finds unattended piles of wood, she will gleefully pick up that wood and scarper away. This is how we first discovered Gremlin Granny, because Gremlin Granny had again just stolen the wood of a bunch of bull dykes, which she was
all bulldogs. Okay.
hugging to her chest as if it was the most precious thing in the world, and kind of laughing to herself as she walked away. So it was just
Yeah, it was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But at the same end, because the very strong lady folk,
the bull dykes.
yes, they came asking us, hey, did any of you notice any piles of wood on the trail?
On the trial.
Wow.
Yes, the bulldogs
There
on
you
the
go.
trial. Yes. Bonk.
So we're like, I mean, we saw it. We did see a pile of wood on the trail,
Mhm.
and we were like, okay,
We
should
remember
we
where
pick
that
it up?
is. Let's go back,
Well,
find the
I mean,
pile
we
where we saw
didn't
it
even know
last.
it was theirs, but
Yeah, we
it was
didn't know it was theirs. We just saw a pile off to the side of the trail as we came back.
yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now they're questioning us, and we're like, yo, we don't know nothing. But they wouldn't believe us if we were to tell them that all of a sudden there was a fucking gremlin granny chuckling and disappearing into the woods. We
Yeah.
can't say that, but that's what happened.
Mhm.
See, what you need is you need your black friend to go, look, the gremlin granny took it. Now you go
Woods
find her.
haunted.
That's on you. No, hey, that's on. Look, I just want to go. When I go camping, I just want to burn a fire, nice big fire. It keeps the gremlin granny away,
Mhm.
and then we just chill, like enjoy some herbs. If Sanguine's there, definitely, hopefully, some delicious foods. But
Lots of grub.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about Gremlin Granny. Fuck Gremlin Granny.
No, you don't fuck gremlin granny. She's
No,
fat.
I mean I don't want to fuck Gremlin Granny. I'm saying,
Remember, you don't accept food from the Fae.
You don't
Right.
accept food from the Fae, but if a Fae wants your firstborn and they're attractive,
wait, what?
there's more than one way to give them your firstborn.
Exactly. Like you want. So it's a deal. You'll get my first one. Okay. So when do we start making it?
Exactly.
What? You want it, right?
Hey, it takes two to tango.
Shit, I always want.
We work for our food in this house.
I always want to fuck a fake creature.
Sora, that's an interesting answer. All right. Okay.
Hey, if Maeve or the Leonchi, do you guys know what the Leonchi is?
Yes, and I refuse to deal with the Leon Chi because she'll fucking kill me. But I'll bust the most epic of nuts.
Does anyone else know what the Leonchi is?
No, I am not familiar with that word.
So the Leonchi is a type of fae that is effectively the combination of a muse and Lady Bathory. Because
Nice.
the Leonchi is so insanely beautiful that even just to lay eyes upon her will inspire you to pen a song or poem of such beauty that it outdoes any other work.
I mean,
But
just
the
listen to
Leonchi-
the word structure of it.
Yeah, but the
Most of
problem
it
is with this
is better.
Leon Chi, as she does this, she feeds upon your creativity and
Yeah.
leave you
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
no. It
And
isn't
you know
quite
what?
that she
It's
feeds
all
upon your
good. It's
creativity.
all good until it's a fucking lady with a fucking spider body at the other end of it.
No,
You know
she
what?
is not
Stop it.
spider body.
You
So
need to
the
stop it.
Leonchi is
No.
insanely beautiful. Like I said, beautiful enough that she inspires poetry, the likes of which humanity is not normally capable.
What about haiku?
She can inspire haikus. That's a type of poetry. It works. So
Dirty
if
limericks.
you're able to win over Leonchi,
It's a very hard.
she will stay with you for a time, and the entire time that she is with you, you will pen unrivaled works of whatever sort of poetry or song that you are prone to. But eventually, the Leonchi grows bored. And the Leonchi, after giving you a fairly happy life up to that point, she will fuck your brains out. Throughout this entire time, you'll marry her. It'll be rather joyful experience, but eventually the Leonchi will get bored. She'll leave you, and you will die of heartbreak
Yeah.
from her leaving.
Hold on, I've seen this before. He dies in the orange field.
Well, no. What happens is that you die of heartbreak. The Leonshi hears that you die of heartbreak. She comes back. She grabs your body. She scarpers off to her cave. She
This is
drains all
Godfather.
blood from your body and then bathes in it to reabsorb all of the effectively bardic inspiration that she's spent on you, heightening her powers so that she can inspire even greater works the next time that someone wins
Hold
her
on.
over.
Hold on. So are you saying that a bard is the superior Dungeons and Dragons character?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Especially the
Hey.
horny bard.
A bard that is under
Is it a
the
spooty
Leon-
bard?
No, a horny bard.
No.
A
Spoony
bard,
bards are for certain characters.
a bard that is under a Leonshi's inspiration would be a rather terrifying thing.
Oh, good lord. I derailed it to where I not know.
But yeah, I do absolutely love the Leonshi.
Would that mean like
Leonshi
their
is
personal
super.
quest the whole time is not to sleep with their wife then
Do what?
or husband, just in case they decide that they're bored
Yo,
now?
Keith.
Well, the thing is that they'll get bored whether or not you sleep with them, so fuck them
Yeah.
and have fun. If
Yeah.
you're going to die anyways, you might as well get your rocks off. many times.
Once you've crossed
Yeah,
that
right.
Rubicon, I don't think you've already submitted.
And it's not a bad way to go. You have a very happy life where you become tremendously famous and your works go on throughout all of history because of
Yep.
how amazing they are. And the cost is that eventually you die. Well, that's life. But until then, you have a
That's
smoking hot
All the
Fey wife.
people say.
You have an absolutely gorgeous Fey wife that inspires you to create these great works. So the entire time the relationship is working, it is an amazing relationship. You make better work, and you have an absolutely gorgeous Fey wife.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
do we get to choose this kind of wife that we're talking about? What kind of wife are we talking about?
Would you
Well,
like
the
a
Leon,
Fey
she's-
wife, Minnie?
Oh, okay. That whole stop it.
Well, since you're talking to a dog,
No.
then a dog's Fey, or the main dog of the Fey is a
What's it? Charlotte Faye?
Dooku?
What the-
No, it's a
Oh, hold on.
it's a
Is that a pups?
Kusith.
Spinny,
Kusith
yes.
is the
Main
Main
dog,
one.
but I'm a Kate Sith.
Kusith is the main dog Fey. And Kusith are
Kusa?
terrifying.
Is that an Egyptian dog?
No,
No.
Is,
Do you want to explain Kusith?
King
Go ahead.
Kusa. You know, he
hi to
dispelled the.
Keeve.
Oh, wait. Oh, Keeve's there? Hi, Keeve.
mm-hmm.
I think I saw K-Shaw. Hi, K-Shaw. Oh, wait.
Keisha was.
but-
Mhm.
That was a long time ago. I apologize. Ancient.
Don't worry. Adam's baked. It's all good.
There is, well, I think it's healthier to have a baked instead of fried.
Fried. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard things.
Yeah, it's possible.
Heard things too.
So, a Kusith, or the Kunsith, in order to do multiple, you add the N sound to Ku. So, they are also known as, depending on the origin of the myth, because there's a couple different types of Kusith, you have the classic Kusith, which is the green dog. But then you also have very similar beings that are known as black dogs and black shucks.
And
So they are a dog-like creature. They look like a dog. They're shaggy. So think like an Irish wolfhound.
Mm-hmm.
that has, in the classic version of the green dog, it is kind of this dark woodland green coat.
In Egyptian culture?
This is
No.
Irish,
Oh, Irish.
which is why it's
Or
Kusith
Gaelic.
and
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself
so
and just listen.
in that they are these kind of forest green, shaggy fur. So again, think Irish wolfhound dogs that are the size of a cow. So
Nice.
absolutely fucking enormous. They are insanely proficient at hunting, and you'll only ever be able to hear it bark 3 times. So the first bark,
Is it like once before your death or something?
the first bark that you'll ever hear from a Kusith will fill you with a sense of impending dread. The second bark will just completely shatter what wits you have remaining, and you will be completely overcome with fear. The third bark, everything gives out and you die.
You shit your pants, and it's such a violent shit that it kills you.
And its barks can be heard for miles, even out at sea. So if you hear the first bark, immediately run for safety. If you hear the second bark, get into safety now. If you hear the third bark and you haven't found safety, you're dead.
Violent shitstorm abound.
Like I said, there's several different versions of this. So you have the Kusith, which is again a green dog, but then you have the black dog, which is a Celtic American version of the Kusith, as well as a Barghest. So Barghest is another one that's kind of like a Kusith, only the Kusith is Fey origin, the Barghest is more demonic.
Mm-hmm.
So the Barghest will, when it steps, its paw prints are burnt into the ground beneath it. And it has the smell of brimstone. That's how you can tell a Kusith from a Barghest.
I can't remember. There was a child, like a children's book that had the Bargeist, and I don't remember. It was a good character.
Oh yeah, the Barghest is interesting because the Barghest, like I said, it's kind of more of a demonic origin, but it's not necessarily evil.
Its origin is devilish, but it's not malevolent.
Yes.
It honestly, it's literally a big ass dog that wants to play, but because it wants to play, you're human and you're squishy.
So it ends up sometimes killing people, sometimes saving people, but it always has fiery eyes. It can become invisible. When it walks, it has the sound of rattling chains. Like I said, it tends to burn its steps into the ground beneath it. And
depending on which myth or the story being told, it's either a guardian dog who is, while it's out, it is hunting like wayward devils and demons and shit, or it is an escaped devil. It is literally just a big fucking puppy that was bound by the gods to protect mankind. All it fucking wants to do is play. And you are a human and you are squishy.
And one of the main things that you can do in order to defend yourself against a Barghest is you have to cross running water.
Popper can't swim.
is why one of my favorite ideas for a story, if I could write, this would be the modern fantasy story that I would write. All of the demons and monsters and things that go bump in the night are real, but humanity has for so long designed everything to protect itself against them that it is forgotten. Because think about the normal ways that you deal with supernatural beings. So for witches, old school vampires, bar guests, and a shit ton of other entities, running water.
Running water. Yeah.
What do we have running beneath our streets? Everywhere in cities?
Sewers and water mains.
We have sewers and water mains. We have running water going everywhere. Our entire house is sheathed in running water, effectively. Because we have pipes going all over the place. So what do you do in order to deal with the Fae?
Oh, well, for the Fae is iron, right?
It's iron. What are nails made out of again?
Iron.
So we use iron nails, and iron nails are in every fucking surface around you. So when you're at home, you're in a cage of iron. And a cage of running water. So what do you do against werewolves?
Sanguine.
Yep.
It's either pig iron or cold iron. It's not just iron itself.
Yes, it is pig iron or cold iron, but there's several different debates over what cold iron means.
Untouched by a forge.
That is one of the definitions of cold iron. That is not the only definition of cold iron.
And some myths say it's wrought iron, which is
also
untreated iron. And then some say it's like iron from like a graveyard post.
Some also say that it is iron that has fallen from the sky.
So fucking meteorites?
Yes, meteorite iron. There's a bunch of different definitions of cold iron. The thing is that when you look at the broadest definitions of cold iron, it is effectively iron. When you look at the narrowest definitions of cold iron, then yes, it is unworked iron or it is meteorite iron. Both of these are also fairly common, though. But when you're dealing with werewolves, how do you deal with werewolves?
Silver.
Silver. What's the most common material for jewelry?
Silver.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah. And there's several other kind of magical beings where gold is the answer rather than silver.
Yeah, I hear your kind is particularly fond of gold. That's how we keep you guys out of cities.
So my modern fantasy setting would be all of these things that go bump in the night are real. But we've designed society in order to protect ourselves against it, but we've forgotten why.
There's a book, I think it's called Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about basically when technology and everything modern kind of collapses because the supernatural world just decides that fuck it, magic is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember for the life of me how they went around because they basically like crumbled. It becomes almost from a human perspective post-apocalyptic, basically.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, at the end they failed?
I'm not sure what they did to get around the conventions of like what would protect you from magic, like the different magical creatures.
Yeah. Honestly,
but I think they probably did something where it's like magic is not compatible with science kind of thing or technology. So
which is fairly common. Like the Dresden Files has magic practitioners end up accidentally hexing technology.
We've all wanted to do
Sanguine, you played play the World of Darkness stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the concept of
They bring up
like
banality.
yeah, and I was gonna bring up the masquerade and whatnot. Like all this shit exists beside us, but there's rules to keep everybody in place because if shit got too well known, a lot of systems would start fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's kind of like there's the fan theory behind a bunch of different things, including Harry Potter. And the Harry Potter one amuses me constantly. Because there's the fan theory that the magical world is more afraid of the Muggle world than the Muggle world is of the magical world. Which is why the magical world hides.
I like to think it's more of a numbers game. We outnumber most. Like even they could throw everything at us in a battle of attrition, which it would become, we'd win. We have more. We have more numbers to throw.
Which is in other series like the Dresden Files that I mentioned. So the Dresden Files goes on and on and on about how powerful all these beings are. But all these beings are also kind of shit scared that humanity as a whole will find out that they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because both the wizards and the vampires are going like, yeah, we can take on any human, mano a mano, no fucking problem. Do you know that they have H-bombs? Shit's scary.
Shit, what the fuck is this?
But it's...
I got something to show y'all. Sanguine, I'm gonna send this to you and just...
Okay.
I'm vomiting slightly in my mouth.
Oh, do we want to
Now
see
I'm
that?
worried. Okay, he sent it as a share. Let's all be exposed.
Oh,
Jeez.
I thought Miles Morales was gay.
I see.
No, I don't even care about that. I fucking care that. Look at that horrible ass fucking costuming. What the hell is that?
Are you sure this is that this looks like a fan thing?
Screen Rants. It's Screen Rants and it looks official. Spider-Man
boy.
2 Reign. Let me check it out.
Is that a comic book or is it a series?
Spider-Man Reign. It looks like a comic. It says Marvel.
Oh boy.
Yep, it is official. I found. Yes, it is. I found the comic. I'm switching over to it to share with this tab instead. It is an official.
Okay, so it was thought that Miles Morales was gay for the longest time.
He should be.
It was never confirmed that he was gay.
But yes, it is an official comic book.
Did they bait and switch or what? What is it? Gay.
They gay baiting. Gay baiting.
Gay baiting is that the thing?
Yeah.
Just to get like people to buy the comic and stuff.
Sorry, queer baiting. That's what
Queer
it is.
baiting.
Queer baiting.
Thank you. Yeah.
It might be that, or it might just be normal fandom bullshit where any heterosexual friendship between men is suddenly, what if they were gay?
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I fucking hate Miles Morales. He is not Spider-Man. And I will keep saying this to no end. I really think they should make him, he should, as a college student, he should go off to California or somewhere else and establish himself there as a hero outside of the Spider-Man legacy. And let Peter Parker be Spider-Man and have him be somebody else. Like they should give him the Nightwing treatment. Give him the Nightwing treatment.
Make him Arachnaboy.
No, they would make him a regular boy. Give him his own identity with his own villains and his own, rogue gallery and whatnot. Outside of being Spider-Man's, weaker black race swap. Give him his own identity the same way, Dick Grayson is Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stop trying to shoehorn him into that mold of Peter Parker. Because Peter Parker is a phenomenal character. And I fucking hate that Peter Parker does not get his happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
And all the bullshit he's gone through, everything he's done, and all the shit he's put up with, he never gets his happy ending. And it's fucking sad.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a hilarious description of Miles Morales. Let me click this open so I can read it. Because, just goddamn. So, where is it? Because it was just a description. That was one of those, what the fuck? This sounds like it should be considered hate speech, but it isn't considered hate speech somehow. Miles Morales is, in short, a vividly queer character. Not in terms of who he desires, but in the way he learns to live as a member of a stigmatized minority.
What the fuck that...
Black people are queer.
Again. Alright, so there was this... Alright, do you guys know about the Mercedes... I forget her last name. But she's a skinwalker.
Mercedes Lackey.
I think it is.
It's the
Moonkiss series.
Yeah, I've read a few of them.
All right, so do you know that I love that there's a werewolf in those books and he's gay as fuck, but it's not his identity.
Mm-hmm.
It's
one of those things that I've mentioned because there's a Australian writer who it's Trudy Canavan, if I remember correctly. So she wrote a series, the Black Magician Trilogy, which also has a later series, the Traitor Queen Trilogy, and there might be one other series in that world. But she wrote a character that is fantastic. He is a character who happens to be gay. And it is a character who happens to be gay. And when it comes out that the character is gay, it makes sense in the narrative. It is built up. And it isn't just saying, oh yeah, he's gay. In the setting, most of the mages in the world are nobly born. So they have their noble lineage. They come into the university. They learn magic, and that makes them more desirable as a option to marry into the family. So noble families, they produce mages. Those mages then get married off to keep the family lines strong and to be political marriages. It comes out early on that this character, who is extremely intelligent and very charismatic, had some murmurings when he was at the university that he was doing things with other boys. But it was kind of brushed off as, oh yeah, that's just slanderous rumors about a noble. Which makes sense in the world, why that would come out, and it would be talked about kind of in a hushed voice that, oh, he likes the other boys type deal. Because it's, again, the noble families are looking to continue their family line, so they want their children to have children. And as the story goes, this character continues being extremely intelligent, continues being extremely charismatic. He has a character throughout the entire fucking story. And then it's just at one point when it makes sense narratively, he kind of has this, oh shit, I might be gay. And it works in the narrative. It isn't they're forcing a gay character into this. It is a character who happens to be gay. He has a massive amount of character work done outside of who he fucks. And then when that bit of who he fucks is added in, it isn't this is them doing this. It's, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then you continue on, and the story continues to develop and continues being this rather deep story, this rather engaging story. And yeah, he kind of falls in love, but he's more or less a side character, and him falling in love is kind of just a side story rather than, look at this, you have to pay attention to this, this is the point of the story. It's and then he ended up going out with the other diplomat that he ended up getting involved with. So it's a proper character who happens to be gay.
So in other words, they just treated it like they would do a hetero romance in any book.
Exactly.
Yes. It was written where it didn't jar the reader out of the flow of the story.
In the first series, it didn't jar the reader at all. And in the second series, it didn't jar the reader at all. Even though, again, he ends up kind of finding another gay guy. And it's something that kind of builds into the story organically. So you aren't going, what the fuck is this? This is just suddenly, and then they were gay. No, it's, okay, they seem to be getting rather close. Continue on, more story happens, and the character's still the character and that you learned about in the first 3 books. And then it's, oh, they're getting really close.
They get really chummy.
Yeah, and then you realize at a certain point, oh, they both want to fuck each other. But it's just normal side story romance plot. Only in this side story romance plot, it's 2 gay guys. Rather than it being, by the way, did you know this character's gay? This character's gay. This character's entire personality is that he's gay. He will bend over and just take it up the ass from his love interest. Did you know that he and his love interest are both gay? Which is the part that drives me crazy. It's the difference between a character who happens to be gay and a gay character.
Yeah. One is good writing, the other one is give me brownie points.
Exactly. And the problem is that for some fucking reason, everyone that says, well, we care about gay representation, why is it that every single gay character that you write is the gayest gay character to have ever been gay?
Yes.
It is rather sad. It is really bad. It's just like, well, you know, they can only exist in stereotype.
Yeah.
No, it's not that they can only exist in stereotypes. Modern writers make it the crux of their existence. It is their... You don't have personality traits anymore. You have, he's gay, so that's all his character is. You know, he's a flamboyant gay guy.
This is the gay character. This is the black character. This is the woman character. This is the insert identity group here character.
Have you ever played Dragon Age or Inquisition?
I am currently playing it.
That was Dragon Age 2, right?
No,
Inquisition is the third one.
So don't you know Dorian?
My baby, yes, that I have yet to meet in real life. I just know him through the internets.
I love Dorian's character. Dorian if you go through Dorian's backstory and all the shit he went through, you understand why Dorian is why he's like how he is. You know, his father tried to use blood magic to change him, to make him not gay. He was going to leave him a vegetable in order for him to be to produce children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so
It-
sad.
But Dorian doesn't let that define him though. Like Dorian does, like he loves his country. Like he said, tell the Inquisitor, I put my country before everything else, and helping you helps my countrymen. I love my country despite warts and all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you come to find out he's one of those. He's very patriotic, and he knows that they're doing some dark shit, and he goes, "I'm fighting against it."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes Dorian a great character. Him being gay is like secondary to why I like him.
Yeah, and the thing that drives me crazy about it is that the same people that every time that they write a character, it is a X character, where
Yes.
you just insert an identity group as X, are also more often than not the sort of people that go, well, stereotypes are wrong. Why
Oh.
the fuck are your characters this way then? Because
I got.
if
Do you know the It's a movie, a cartoon called Luca, right? A kid's cartoon about two sea creatures that come on dry land. They have a little adventure, right?
Mhm.
They tried to say that those two characters are gay. They're 8-year-old boys. They're supposed to be 8-year-olds.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the create
It's like anytime there's a male friendship in anything, there's a
Yeah.
shit ton of people that go, oh, they must be gay. They're gay. They're gay for each other. Doesn't matter
No.
what the fuck the source material is. If
And
there's
the character,
two guys that
the-
are friends with each other, they have to want to fuck each other.
the creator came out and said no, it was based off of his life with his best friend and their little adventures they got into growing up. They're not.
Yep.
We're not gay. They're brothers for all intents and purposes. You know, there's no homosexuality involved. It just with two kids back in the day in our time frame, what we did to be kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I you heard about the Lincoln shit where it said he slept in the same bed with other people,
Yep.
the men. But you gotta look at it in the context of what was going on at the time. It wasn't a sexual thing. It was probably fucking cold.
It was probably cold, and it was probably they had one bed, so they slept together in the bed, not with each other as in they're fucking, but with each other as in they're both in the same bed, because that shit would happen constantly. Have you ever seen the movie Michael Collins? I think that's the name of the movie. Let me quickly double check. Michael Collins. So yeah, Michael Collins. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
So it's a biopic from 1996 about the hero of the Irish Revolution, Michael Collins. Same name. That's the reason why the movie's called fucking Michael Collins. So, Michael Collins, he was an Irishman that was part of the Provisional Irish Government, or rather, the Revolutionary Irish Government, then became the Provisional Irish Government. So, in the Revolutionary Irish Government, he was the Minister of Intelligence, effectively.
All right.
And are you familiar with what the Easter Rebellion or the Easter Rising was?
No.
So, the Irish in 1916 started a small revolution. In Ireland, they took over one of the Crown's strongholds in the area, which was the Dublin Post Office, if I remember correctly. So, the then fledgling Irish Republican forces took over the post office. They fought a fairly short siege against the English, where the English just fucking shelled the building for
Mhm.
hours, and then went in and were able to subdue the survivors. So pretty much everyone involved was sentenced to death. Anyone that they knew was a leader of the group. So there was Patrick Pierce, Thomas McDonough, Tom Clark? I want to say Clark.
Mhm.
And Connolly. I can't remember his first name. But they were all sentenced to death. There were 2 members of the government that weren't known who the fuck, or rather, there's 1 member of the government who wasn't known who the fuck he was, and there was 1 member of the government who also had American citizenship, so the Brits couldn't just execute him.
Okay.
The one that also had American citizenship was Eamon de Valera. The one that no one knew who the fuck he was Mike Collins. Because Mike Collins, as the leader of intelligence, was very fucking good at making sure no one knew who the fuck he was.
Mm-hmm.
So only the other members of the government knew anything about who he was. When the rebellion failed, the leaders were executed, with the exception of De Valera and Collins.
Mm-hmm.
De Valera, he was saved by being accepted as a citizen of America. I think he fled and was staying in France for a period of time, then stayed in America, then finally returned to Ireland. But throughout his entire banishment from Ireland, De Valera had kept in contact with Collins. Collins, because he had survived, started organizing, and he was the one that started actually striking out against the crown, trying to spark a entire national revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a ridiculously effective job of it. The entire time he is trying to be hunted down by the English, but no one fucking sells him out, and he keeps on building stronger and stronger and stronger forces. Eventually he forces the English into the I want to say it's called like the Irish Accords. I could be getting the name slightly wrong, but he forces the English to do a peace treaty with the Irish,
Okay.
which grants the southern portion of Ireland, the portion of Ireland that we now know as the Irish Republic, as a separating power, effectively. So it isn't its own nation yet, but it is on its way to its own nation, which eventually
It's getting closer.
does
Okay.
achieve. Because effectively the negotiations were, we will pull out our troops, and in a specified amount of time, Ireland will qualify to vote whether or not Ireland wants to be Ireland. That was a absolutely ridiculous success as far as anyone sane in Ireland realized. But a bunch of people were pissed off. Eamon was kind of sore at the fact that it was Collins that ended up pushing forward for this. So he ended up kind of fomenting hatred of Collins. So nearly split Ireland in half, because half of Ireland fucking loved Collins, half of Ireland fucking hated Collins.
Okay.
Because part of the negotiation, since England hadn't ever figured out who the fuck this man was, they just knew that he was a pain in the ass, they had demanded that he be the one to show up at the peace talks, so that they could actually get a "you motherfucker" moment. So when the peace talks were signed, they were signed by Collins rather than Eamon. And Eamon said that the peace talks, which were ridiculous success as far as any rational person would go, because it wasn't a just flat Ireland is free of England, Eamon spun that as, see, Cullens had betrayed Ireland. Even though he was the president of the provisional government and was the one who told Cullens to make the deal. Because he got rather nervous from people talking about how popular Cullens was. And he wanted to knock Cullens down. It ended up with Cullens dying in the process. But long story short, or not long story short, because I just made the long story long, but the point of me going through this was in the movie Michael Cullens and in real life, several times you see Michael Cullens stay at a boarding house or at an inn where he's staying with one of the other members of his force, and they end up sleeping head to toe in a bed at the same time. And it's just a twin fucking bed. Also, both Michael Cullens and the actor that they had play Michael Cullens are fucking giants. The actor that they had play Michael Cullens in the movie is Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Liam Neeson, for those who don't know, is something like 6'4" or some shit.
Yep.
Dude's tall.
He's tall.
And he's fucking insane.
He's an Irish wolfhound made human.
Oh, yeah. And he's a former boxer.
And he's fucking insane.
What's he insane about?
Plays in movie with lots of guns, hates fucking guns.
Ah.
He is a massive hypocrite.
Fair enough. I just laugh at the time that apparently fucking Seagal was talking shit about a bunch of other action heroes.
And didn't say shit about him.
Oh no, he said shit about Liam Neeson. And there was an interview with Liam Neeson after where someone brought up the fact that Seagal had talked shit about him and said that he hadn't fought a day in his life. And how did he view that? And his response was functionally, I guess he doesn't know I was a boxer for an extended period of time. Because, yeah, he was a prize fighter for a period of time. Dude knows how to box.
And that just proves that fucking Steven Seagal talks out of, well, we already know he talks out of his ass.
Oh yeah, Steven Seagal is an absolute dickhead.
He's literally the internet tough guy.
Yep.
If anyone's an internet tough guy, he's an internet tough guy.
Oh yeah.
His pudgy ass can't do shit.
And when he tried to have a go at, he's pretty much had a go at fucking everyone in Hollywood when it comes to action movies.
Mm-hmm.
But him trying to have a go at Jean-Claude Van Damme, who actually has tournament wins under his belt, saying that it's unsure whether his martial arts background is actually valid. And it's, dude has actual tournament wins? What the fuck are you talking about? You have no fights on the books? And then he talks about, like,
him at Aikido.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the black actor, really big in martial arts movies currently.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. And he talks shit at Michael B. Jordan, and Michael B. Jordan's like, yeah, I don't really pay attention to what he says. Because when you look at people that actually know what they're talking about, like Chuck Norris won a bunch of championships.
Yep. And he still got his ass kicked by Tully Tully.
You look at again, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who won some championships. You look at a bunch of these other people that are actual martial artists before they became action heroes. And a lot of them, if they actually know what the fuck they're doing and what the fuck they're talking about, they're very careful to not put other people down and to not pick fights. The only person that you really see breaking that mold of if they know what they're talking about, they don't pick fights, is Seagal. And I'll just leave that for you guys to figure out why that difference is there.
The loudest, the emptiest, the empty barrel makes the most noise.
Yep.
Like you said, he has no wins to his name, no major battles, no major fights to his name. His action, he doesn't act. He has one mode. He plays Steven Seagal in all of his movies.
Yep.
Like in every movie ever played in, he is always. You could swap out each of his characters in all of his movies and wouldn't change a fucking beat.
Yep. The only thing that's frustrating is that the only person that has come forward and gone, yeah, I kicked his ass. I kicked his ass so fucking hard, is probably the least trustworthy man in Hollywood. And that was LaBelle.
Who?
Who's that?
John LaBelle. He was a judoka that was also a stuntman for decades in Hollywood. He did a shit ton of different things, including he was one of the people that did one of the recognized first mixed martial arts fights, where I'm trying to remember who it was, issued a challenge to anyone that was a practitioner of Eastern martial arts to really show what they could do. I think it was a boxer. And he was the person that ended up fighting them, and he won the fight. But he has so many stories that are big fish stories that fucking no one really knows what the hell happened in any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's just kind of gone like, yeah, some of this is true, some of this isn't. But LaBelle came out and said, yeah, he punched one of my stuntmen in the face during a shoot. I don't like when people punch my stuntmen, because he was the person in charge of all the stuntmen on the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started mouthing off that he had this secret Aikido technique that would allow him to escape any chokehold, so he was unchokeable. And
So he choked him.
LaBelle went bullshit, and Seagal went, no, you can try to choke me, but you can't choke
Lord.
me. And
No.
LaBelle just kind of smiled, shrugged, and put him in a chokehold. Seagal tried to get out of the chokehold. LaBelle held strong. Tried to get out of the chokehold. LaBelle held strong. Tried to get out of the chokehold. LaBelle held strong. Passed out, shit his pants.
Uh-oh.
And then LaBelle let him drop. He woke up in a pile of his own filth. And then had to go change himself. But because it's LaBelle that told the story, there's enough of a...
Did this really happen?
LaBelle Big Fish story? Or did LaBelle actually do this? Because if LaBelle actually did that, fuck yeah.
What we need is corroborated evidence, and I'm assuming we will never get that.
Yeah, there have been a couple people that kind of hint that happened, but they don't come out and say that it happened. And the ones that come the closest to saying that it happened are also kind of notorious bullshit artists. So
I
it's
mean, the saying is, broken clock strike twice a day.
yeah. So it's one of those things that a lot of people are going, okay, there's no way of knowing that this happened. There's no way of being able to say, yes, this absolutely occurred. But it probably occurred. It
If
probably
Steven
worked out this way, and this is what actually happened, and Seagal was choked out by LaBelle and did shit himself.
if Steven Seagal wasn't such an ass, people would be more inclined to not, disbelieve what he says.
Mm-hmm.
But you're an asshole, and that makes half of what you say already fucking skeptical.
Oh yeah, and also one of the things that complicates the issue is, like I said, LaBelle did do a exhibition fight with, I want to say it was a boxer that was very, oh yeah, Eastern martial arts are kind of bullshit. But the thing is, LaBelle was a competition grade wrestler before he went into judo.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some debate of how much of that was wrestling, how much of that was judo, and then his absolutely amazing bullshit artistry, because he included shit in the fight that was never confirmed and probably wasn't the case. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he accused the guy that he fought and did absolutely fucking win out in the fight. He accused that guy of doing a lot of the old school stereotypical cheats when it comes to boxing. Like, I can't remember what substance it is, but it's, I want to say, crazy glue on the boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them rock fucking hard.
Oh.
And he accused the guy of having done that and a few other things, and there's no evidence that that was done, but there's also no real evidence that it wasn't done. So it's in this very
Weird
awkward. He's probably bullshitting, but he might not be bullshitting, because not everything he says is horseshit, but a lot of what he says is horseshit.
See, kids, this is why you be honest at all times.
But the thing is, LaBelle's stories are amazing. They make it impossible to tell what's real and what's not.
He's a good bard. He can spin you a yarn.
Oh yeah, he could tell a story that would have you fascinated throughout the entire thing, but at the same time, at the end of it, you're going, okay, how much of that was fucking true? I want to believe all of it, but I can't in good faith believe all of it.
LaBelle is the Dos Equis guy, essentially.
Yeah. So I just realized the time. Do any of you have any topics that you want to launch into? I do have one, because it's kind of the topic, or the reason why I chose the title for the stream that I did.
Oh, no, go ahead. What do you want?
So did all of you, or did any of you, see the Kamala Fox News interview?
I did not. What did she do?
She rage quit. Or rather, her staff rage quit for her.
Yeah,
Oh?
there you go. I want you to get it right.
Uh-oh.
She didn't rage quit. They threw in the towel.
So she did an interview with Fox News, and what was the interviewer's name again, Tier?
Brett Baer.
Yeah, Brett Baer. I wanted to say that it was him, but I wasn't 100% sure. So Brett Baer had prepped for fucking every question that he had asked, kind of knowing what her response would be and having clips prepped before.
Oh,
So
that's delicious. Oh my god.
he would ask a question, she would give an answer, and he would go, oh, Here, let's play this clip real quick. Seems like
shit.
things are different.
Oh,
So,
that's a bad look.
oh yeah, he would ask a question, he'd have a clip be played after she tried
Waffles
to
on for an hour.
Yeah, she tried to avoid every single question, including there's one answer that particularly annoyed me because it was the most nothing answer in all existence, which was for several different questions. She gave the same answer. And the answer was, well, like my predecessor and his predecessor and his predecessor, I would obey the current laws. The problem is, each of those questions that were asked was, if you are elected, would you push for the current laws to be changed? And it wasn't just that you would obey the current laws, it was that you would obey the laws. So, if you were put in place, would you push for the laws to be changed? Well, I would obey the current laws of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't answer the question. Would you be trying to get the laws changed to be what you've said before? Well, I'd obey the laws at the time. So if you could change the laws, then you would still be obeying them. Is that what you mean? Well, I'd obey the laws at the time. Okay, here's a clip of what you said before when this question was asked. But yeah, it was every single question she would try to avoid. He would try to get her back on topic. She would try to avoid. He would try to get her back on topic. And then he would just go, okay, play the clip. And it would be a clip of her.
It'd be interesting to see how they're going to spin that.
Oh,
Sanguine, I got something to show you.
Okay.
Share to the screen.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. The cope is real. And I love how they got him looking all pale and sunken like he's the undead. Now, as a lich, I'm very offended by this.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, I find it hilarious the reason why she agreed to do the Fox News interview. Do you guys know why?
Because she's losing.
Did she think she's going to one-up them?
Was a poll not terribly long ago about what news stations various voter demographics look at. Do you know what news station is the most looked at by independents?
Fox.
Yes.
Yep. Interesting.
So she tried to get on to be interviewed by Fox so that she could appeal to independents.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just absolutely shit the bed. One of the funniest ones was, so in your previous election cycle, when you were going for the primaries, you said that you were for paying for transgender operations for both prisoners as well as illegal immigrants with federal tax dollars. Are you still in favor of this? She tried to waffle. He tried to bring her back on topic. She tried to waffle. He tried to bring her back on topic. She said, well, like my predecessor and his predecessor before, I would obey the current laws. And the law at the time when Trump was in office was that this would be allowed. And Brett Baer came back with, well, yes, but during his administration, there's no evidence that anyone actually provided such services. So are you in favor of them? Are you trying to expand them? And he also never gave any sort of indication that he was in favor of them. She tried to redirect and went, okay, so do you know that your running mate was in favor of these things and put them forward at the state level when he was governor? And just the color drains from her face.
Yes.
As
sucks
he
to be
pull,
this bitch.
Yeah, as he pulls up a clip of him advocating for it. One of
man.
the other moments that it was very clear she was just absolutely shitting herself was when it came to the immigration discussion. And he asked, do you feel like the administration that you're currently a part of has some part to play in the deaths? And he listed off a handful of people that were killed by illegal immigrants that were part of the catch and release program that was championed by the current administration. She tried to redirect and say, well, it's really the Republicans. They turned down a bipartisan bill that was within the past year. And Brett Baer went, well, that was also voted down by Democrats as well. Here's the Democrats that voted it down. And again, these people were all released within the first 9 months of your administration, not closer to when this bill was voted or after this bill was voted down. So that doesn't really work. Here, let's listen to one of the survivors of one of these incidents, a family member of one of the people that passed away. And he played that, and it was very clear that she felt some remorse listening to the family member of one of the victims, because the family member of one of the victims said very clearly that, yeah, I absolutely blame the administration, because if they hadn't initiated this policy, this person would not have been free to kill my daughter.
Yeah.
And that shook her. So it was just one of those, holy shit, she got savaged by this. And not only did she get savaged, she got savaged to the point where her own handlers realized that she was getting savaged. And they started signaling that it had to end. Brett Baer saw them signaling that it had to end, and he said, okay, so do you have any closing words? Because I'm getting very clear indications that this segment needs to end, and that you aren't going to be allowed to answer any additional questions. And you could hear towards the end of the interview her saying to her own staff, I can answer questions, I can stay, I can answer more questions, and Brett Baer going, they're saying you can't.
They're saying no. Yeah.
Oof. Ooh. I don't know what's worse.
I do.
Her being carted off by the handlers,
Yep.
or just like her staying and continuing like all of this silly stuff coming out. But
Oh, she was getting absolutely savaged.
Yes.
yeah.
It wasn't even a competition, but as you predicted, people have been trying to spin it.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to spin it in a way where they're relying on people having not listened to the interview in order to try to save it.
They're trying to say that she owned him, and now they're doing this. I have this video of there's no Tina. Is it Tina Fey that does the weird card, the weird Catholic girl that has the armpit thing that she sniffs?
No, Molly Shannon.
Yeah, you're talking Molly Shannon.
Yeah, that she
because you're talking the superstar.
Yeah,
right?
and now she's doing a bit with her on instead of going to the Al Smith dinner. I said Al Franken earlier, yes. You know, it is fucking scary. It is she is pissing off far more people than she's bringing together. She is fucking useless, and it's going to be a Mondale situation.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping for that.
I'm
Of
praying for
course.
that. I'm praying that she is Mondale 2.0. It is not that I don't want a female president. I think at some point it is inevitable that we will have a female president.
The one major difference is that Trump would not pull the somewhat stupid but really class act that Reagan pulled. So, sorry, are you familiar with what the Mondale situation was?
No.
So, Mondale ran against Reagan.
Okay.
And during the election cycle, Reagan had specifically avoided campaigning in Mondale's home state. Because, and I quote, it seemed cruel to take a man's home state from him.
And he still took it. It was a
No,
blowout.
it was the only state that didn't vote Reagan. So, Mondale was from Minnesota. Reagan avoided throughout the entire campaign cycle campaigning at all in Minnesota. He won 49 of the 50 states.
Well,
The only state he didn't win was Minnesota.
I don't think. All right, so at some point, you should be gracious in victory. You shouldn't rub it in.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this. No, I think we should rub it in. I really do, because all this time we've heard nothing that Trump's a fucking monster and we're evil for voting for him, and it's going to be fascism, and it's going to be Hitler 3.0. The Orange Reich is coming back, and whatnot, and I'm just tired. I'm tired of being kind. I'm tired of being benevolent. I'm tired of being PC and cordial. I swear to God, when Trump wins, the next day I work, which will be a Friday, I will come in blasting the battle cry of freedom all through the airport that I work at, and I'm going to sing it I will have that motherfucker on repeat. That will be the song that is played throughout the airport. I will find a way to get into the office and blast that shit on the intercoms. Fuck you all. I'm tired of being nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
it's exhausting, man.
No,
you have to watch yourself like it's a different kind of regime,
It gets worse for me because I'm black, and he's going to put you back in chains. No, the fuck he isn't. It is a constant fear mongering and playing to, why you not blowing for a black woman? Bitch isn't black. Well, you're just a racist. You're just an Uncle Tom, and I fucking hate being called Uncle Tom. So
especially since this is one of the things that enrages me every fucking time that I hear someone called an Uncle Tom. Because you mean a Sambo, not an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was the fucking hero of the story. For those who don't know,
but
Uncle Tom is a reference to Uncle Tom's Cabin. In the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, Uncle Tom dies refusing to think on a runaway slave.
Yeah,
he's tortured to death. The people responsible, the people that actually turned on their own kind, which is what people accuse Uncle Tom's of doing, was a man by the name of Sambo, who was a slave hunter, a black slave hunter.
Yes, but I get the reference and I understand the meaning, but it's still used as a pejorative because...
It is, but that enrages me because it... Not only are you a racist shit, but you're an illiterate.
It's factually incorrect.
Shit. Yeah, you're an illiterate.
Yes, you're factually incorrect.
How dare you be incorrect, racist?
Yeah, if you're going to be a racist shit, at least be a factually correct racist shit. Yes, at least be someone that knows the difference between what the fuck you're talking about. Because again, I'm not accusing them of illiteracy. Illiteracy is the inability to read. I'm accusing them of alliteracy. Alliteracy, different than illiteracy. Alliteracy is the ability to read but choosing not to.
Well, it
Very
still
handy
pisses me
word
off
for
to
those
no
who
end.
don't know it.
But it still pisses me off to no end, and I fucking hate it because my allegiance is owed because of the color of my skin.
Yep.
When me being black, me being a black man is like number 5,172 on the things I identify as. If you ask me what I identify first, usually an asshole and a geek.
To loop this back around to what we were talking about when we were talking about characters, it enrages me that there's this... The people that are the most prone to have blank characters, and blank is whatever sort of identity group you want to include, that are also the most prone to tell me about yourself. Well, and they start listing identity groups. And they're also the ones that go, well, stereotypes are evil. Then why the fuck, when I ask you, tell me about yourself?
You give me stereotypes.
Do you go, well, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other? Because that doesn't tell me a fucking thing about you unless I start using stereotypes. Because if you say, well, I'm black, if I'm not using stereotypes, you saying that you're black tells me nothing of any import. Also, if we're talking face to face, I can fucking see it. So there's no goddamn point in telling me what racial group you're part of. Tell me what job you work, what your interests are, the shit that you do in your spare time. If you're really passionate about something, because you know what normal people will answer when you tell them to tell you about themselves?
Something about themselves that they like, their interests.
Yeah, I can exemplify this. Here, tell me about yourself.
I like video games. I like war games. Hell shit, I like fucking techno music.
Sora, tell me about yourself.
No.
God damn it, Sora. But a normal person will probably say what they do for a living.
My Pisces. My favorite color is pink. I totally
Gay.
love...
That you're clearly gay coded.
The thing is that even with that, you've given me more information than telling me what racial group you're a part of. A normal person, when they're asked tell me about yourself, they will typically say, well, I do this for a living. I have this sort of family, and these are my interests. Because what you do for a living, it doesn't dictate everything about you, but what you do for a living does actually give information about who the fuck you are. So, being told, well, I work in a laboratory, that probably tells you more than me saying, well, I'm a white guy.
I'm a white guy voting for Kamala Harris. That tells me a lot about you.
If I say, well, I work in a laboratory, but I used to work in a prison, and before that I worked as an EMT, that tells you a lot of information.
Yeah, that tells me you're strong and you have medical knowledge.
Yeah, it gives you information about me. And then I add in what my interests are. I really like video games. I like reading. I like storytelling. I like singing. That's information about me. And with each of those bits of information, you can actually learn who I am, and you can learn what I am into and what I like. And you can figure out if there's any sort of connection that you can find with me, whether I'm a sort of person that you're interested in learning about. The only thing that telling me your racial group, if I ask you, tell me about yourself, tells me, is that, oh, you're an insane bastard. I don't give a shit anymore.
So I had a coworker.
If you were to fill out the demographics question on a multiple choice state exam, which demographic would you choose?
American. American. I'd circle. Every time that question comes up, I circle. I bubble in other, and I write American. It is irrelevant of what I am. I'm not black. I'm not African. I have never been to Africa. I don't fucking want to go. It is fucking. You have to hunt your own food there, and there are too many black people there. Fuck that noise. I'm American. My family has died on this soil. They've been born on this soil, and I'll die on this soil, barring some foreign war. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, it infuriates me that they're the ones that will do the, well, this is my racial group. Your racial group doesn't tell me a fucking thing about you. If I ask you to tell me about yourself, I want to know about you beyond what I can tell just from glancing at you. If you want to include something about your demographics, then give me something more important. Like, if you say, well, I'm from a stereotypically Asian family, that tells me you have a tiger mom. That's actually information about you. You probably know a musical instrument.
You probably speak several languages. I bet you do.
Yeah.
Shit.
That gives me information that's actually usable, that's actually interesting about you. It's something that I can then decide to talk to you about.
I had a coworker, and with his morning shift, mind you, he was Jewish, and me and him would get in a lot of talks because I wanted to understand him more. So I asked him about his culture and his, his religion.
Mm-hmm.
We'd spend literally 8 hours from the time we got in to the time we left. He's telling me about his Jewish heritage. I wanted to know about my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Ask a fucking question. Let's learn some shit. Let's learn to work together. Probably why I'm an honorary member of the tribe.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't give up pork, even though technically I don't eat it as often. I still can't give it up. So
Pork is
I'm an honorary
delicious.
member. It is. I think God's being mean to them because they can't eat pork. Shit, it's almost 2:00. Saying when I gotta go.
Yep, I was about to say, it is well past the time, but we've now talked about the topic that I had at the start that I wanted to mention. And
Good
none of you
topic.
had any topics that you wanted to bring up. So, parting words. And sorry about that clang. I just knocked over an empty insulated tumbler.
It's a good thing have a gong for ahead of the parting words.
Yep.
If you have to hunt down Sanguine, make sure you hunt him down above the ground. Dwarves have a special unique ability called Tremor Sense. You'll never fucking get him.
But even above ground, as long as I'm touching the ground, I can still use tremor sense.
Yeah, but see, it's easier to see you than it is to see you underground. See?
Fair enough. Sora?
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for hosting today's stream. I hope everyone has a very good evening or early morning if you're on the
Adam?
East Coast.
Are you still there, Adam?
I think Adam's fallen
He
asleep.
may
He might well
be
have fallen
a
asleep.
snoozing.
So, because of the ending topic that we had, I feel like it is fitting to bring up this gem of a segment of a speech. There is no room in this country for hyphenated Americans. When I refer to hyphenated Americans, I do not refer to naturalized Americans. Some of the very best Americans I have ever known were naturalized Americans. Americans born abroad. But hyphenated American is not an American at all. This is just as true of the man who puts native before the hyphen as the man who puts German or Irish, or English. One moment. Quickly click this. Or Irish, or English, or French before the hyphen. Americanism is a matter of spirit and of the soul. Our allegiance must be purely to the United States. We must unsparingly condemn any man who holds any other allegiance. But if he is heartily and singly loyal to this republic, then no matter where he was born, he is just as good an American as anyone else. The one absolutely certain way of bringing this nation to ruin, of preventing all possibility of its continuing to be a nation at all, would be to permit it to become a tangle of squabbling nationalities, an intricate knot of German Americans, Irish Americans, English Americans, French Americans, Scandinavian Americans, or Italian Americans, each preserving its separate nationality, each at heart more sympathetic with Europeans of that nationality than with the other citizens of the American Republic. The men who do not become Americans and nothing else are hyphenated Americans, and there ought to be no room for them in this country. The man who calls himself an American citizen and who yet holds by his actions that he is primarily the citizen of a foreign land plays a thoroughly mischievous part in this life of our body politic. He has no place here, and the sooner he returns to the land to which he feels his real heart's allegiance, the better it will be for every good American. That's, of course, Teddy Roosevelt. No room in this country for hyphenated Americans.
Best president ever.
An absolutely amazing president, that is absolutely sure. And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Good night.
Night.
And now I click this.